Hi, I'm Victoria Burrows. I'm working with the Lloyds Bank Foundation as a Development Associate.
Hello, I'm Liz Pepler and I'm working with Lloyds Bank Foundation as an external consultant.
We're going to talk to you about organisational resilience today. Liz, can you talk us through, please? Can you tell us what is organisational resilience?
Yes, Victoria, hi. Organisational resilience is the ability to anticipate, it's the ability to prepare, it's the ability to adapt and to respond to incremental change, which is that change that we experience every day, business as usual, and also sudden shock. Don't need to explain that, what we've been through this past year. And it's the ability to navigate all of that and still survive and still prosper.
That's great, thank you. Why do you think it's so important?
I think it's always important, but I think it's particularly important now, probably for all the reasons that we all know. I think this year is going to be a challenging year. It's certainly going to be a year of uncertainty. So being able to anticipate change, prepare for it, and then critically adapt and respond to it is something I know that lots of organisations are thinking about now. And I think it's a good investment of time to sit down and think about it and prepare for the year ahead.
Thanks, Liz, that's really helpful. Can you tell me, what is the Organisational Resilience Programme?
The Organisational Resilience Programme is a series of workshops. They're really short, well, they're 3 hours long, short, highly practical workshops. We've got 10 guiding principles for organisational resilience. We work with lots of charities, heard about their thoughts on what organisational resilience means to them, and we put them into 10 principles. And these 3 workshops work through these principles. We've grouped them into 3 pillars: people, money, and mission. We spend a workshop looking at each of them. And then we all come together again to look at how we might be able to activate resilience and what our development plan might be going forward.
Sounds great, thank you. So why should people get involved with this?
I think there are 2 benefits. I think there are 2 reasons. I think firstly, organisations get the chance to work with organisational resilience practitioners. These are people who are experienced in a particular aspect of building resilience. I'm working closely with the programme on the financial resilience side, looking at the money pillar, what it means to be able to use our financial resources with intention and with control. My colleagues have a real range of experience and backgrounds. We have expertise not only in the financial side of things, but also in infrastructure, in funding, in setting up a charity, running a charity. We've experienced many of the challenges that are out there. We've worked really closely with leaders of charities like you, Victoria, to design the programme and to build the content of the programme. So I think it's a great opportunity to work with people and share learning. And I think the other opportunity is that this is a pilot. We have a fairly good idea of what we want it to do, but actually we need to work with others to make it as best as it can be and to make it as relevant as it can be. And we would love your input if you could come and help us shape it. So those would be the 2 reasons I would invite you and hope that you might come.
That's great, thanks. So what can people expect then? And you've talked briefly about the time commitment, so I think it'd be good to know a bit more.
With the workshops, what we want very deeply to avoid is a chalk and talk session or death by PowerPoint, if we're honest. It's a conversation-led approach. We have organisational resilience principles. We've designed questions specific for the programme that we can work through, that help stimulate discussion, resilience-focused discussion, that help identify development needs. And I think if we were in a session right now, what we would expect is probably a little bit of content, some PowerPoint slides, but then mainly it would be peer-led group discussion, exploring, challenging, sharing and learning. We have a learning journey that we will go through from each of the workshops, so it joins up, and at the end I think what people can expect to have are their key development points identified and a pathway to implementing them.
That sounds really valuable. And can you just tell us what the time commitment is?
Yes, so it starts on the 26th of January. There are 3 workshops, each is 3 hours from 9 till 12. There is a final wrap-up workshop of 1 hour. There's always opportunity to do work in between. We're going to let people decide that for themselves. If there is that desire to do it, we'll support you and help guide you if that's helpful. If time is really critical, as it always is, and the learning is focused on the workshops alone, absolutely fine. With the finance pillar, we're offering a follow-up one-to-one session with you and your treasurer and your board, whoever wants to come in that organisation, where we could do a really bespoke session looking at where the development needs might be. Again, that's optional. Does that answer your question, Victoria?
It does. It does. It sounds fantastic. How have you had feedback so far?
Yeah, so this is a pilot, as I said, so we haven't run the whole programme in its entirety yet. This is the first time. We have tested, however, the methodology, the approach and the principles, and we've tested it with charities, with leaders of charities, either at board level or at executive level. And the feedback so far has been really positive. We've been told that the approach and the methodology creates a safe space for charities to be their true selves and not necessarily their best selves. And I think when we're applying for funding, often we portray our best self. And all of us know that there are areas that we need to develop. And this gives us the opportunity to do that in a way that's very, it's confidential, it's sensitive, it's well supported. I think another person said that some of the other feedback that we received is that actually they felt that they learned an awful lot, but they felt that they were giving a lot as well. And it was that sharing and that peer learning and that peer support that came across as being really valuable.
Great. And how can people register? Well,
registration is open till the 20th of January. It's being hosted by Voluntary Action Merthyr Tydfil. If you would like to register, please go on to vamped.net. There was a registration form on their website. If not, you could it might be actually, sorry Victoria, it might be actually easier to email training@vamped.net to get a registration form. Fill in the form. It's really short. We kept it really short. Fill in the form, send it off. And what we haven't mentioned is that this program is free. There's no charge for this program. All we ask is a commitment to come, a commitment to engage, a commitment to share. And apart from that, there's no other commitment that you need to make.
Oh, sounds great. It really does. So if anybody's got any questions, you can get in touch with us. I can share my email here. So it's vburrows@lloydsbankfoundation.org.uk.
We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Liz.
Thanks, Victoria.